Okay, so good morning, everyone. Good morning, programmers. Welcome to our session today. So, by the way, I have already sent you this the part of this program where we actually added a function. So the video was actually sent yesterday in our GC. So but before we'll move on with our new topic, I'm going to walk through you with this change na in our program. So actually we have here a what do we have here is the isFound function, in which, as you can see, we have two versions of isFound. The other one is actually going to return Boolean true or false function value or result, and the other one is actually an integer value. Now let's have here the bool is found. Now this bool is found is going to again return true or false. Or in C++, it's either 1 or 0. So 1 for true and false for 0. Okay. So now you have also here the parameters. So these parameters or arguments are this is for the object array, which is if ever the records of the ID, or whatever the records of the ID stored to this particular array, so it will be populated here, so that we can make use, or we can actually what they call this one, manipulate the records of ID. So but we are not going to manipulate, we are only going to look for the value, so meaning the record inside of the ID, and then the value that the user is going to enter, like what value is going to be searched, and then the size as to how much loop we are going to execute in this particular for loop. So whenever there is a value, okay, or the value is actually matched to an array, then it is going to return true. Otherwise, it will become false. So meaning, pag walay makitaan, false. Pag naay makitaan na pareha, true. Okay? So true or false lang siya. Alright. So the other one is found I. Okay? While this one returns only true or false, so we can just say na if you're going to search for the value 101, 102, 103, 104, let's say one out of this, search na to ang 103, and then it returns true only or false. While this one naman is going to return, instead of true or false, it's going to return the actual index value of where a particular record is actually found. So meaning to say, if I have, let's say, in my array, I have, let's say, ID lang man ako i-search. We have 101, 102, 103. Obviously, this is, of course, array 0. This is obviously array 1, and this is array 2. So with that, same process here, only that instead of it returns the value of like true or false, what it is returned is actually the index value. So the index value of that particular value of an ID, or index of that ID, the index of ID, or the index that corresponds to that ID. Meaning, if 102 is like found in that particular array, meaning it returns 1. If 103, meaning it returns 2. Or depende kung 105 ni siya, then third record na siya, then the index the value that it is returned is actually 2. Okay, so that is why this one will return the value or the index value of that particular array. Okay, so we actually use that one here in is found sa search. Ayan. So search is found I. So meaning to say ID. So the ID is actually a string. That is actually an array of string. and then you have here value. So whatever the user is going to type, let's say the user types 101, so pangitaon na niya dito equivalent kung kana si 101 nga gi-type sa user is naaba na siya dito sa array. Okay, and then the I is of course ato ang counter sa loop. Okay, up to how many loops it will actually iterate or it will look for the value. Then if the search or this one will return negative one, meaning if this returns negative one, then value is not found. If otherwise dili siya negative one, so let's say 0 or 1 or 2, then that will be used for displaying the value of the ID, the name, the gender, the age, the tuition that corresponds to the search value. Okay? So that is the same thing we do in edit. Okay? And that is the same thing we do in delete. Because when we edit and when we delete, we make sure that the value is must be found before we edit them or before we delete them. Kasi you can never edit or delete once it is not existing. Okay? So mura lang ko na og how ka magbulag mo nga wala dili man naging kamo, no? So inana siya. So walay angay bulagan kay walay kamo. Okay? Sige. Alright. Agree. Sige. Do you have questions? So if you want to know more about this, so look at watch the video that I have created and don't forget to subscribe. Bitaw, watch the video there. Katong gihimo last time. Actually, gisend na ako sa inyo yesterday. So if you want to have a full grasp on this particular program. So as you can see, at least we are able to minimize our codes into at least 30%, no? So lessen na to atong code into 30%. Kasi we already created IsFound or method, which is equivalent of this one. And then since balik-balik maguna siya all throughout from search, from edit, and from delete. So since balik-balik na, i-function na to siya. So that's the reason why function is there. Okay? So again, that's it for the the whole topic for katong gi-send ako sa inyo. Now, this time we are going to store our records to a text file. Instead of what example, instead of like every time we add our program, we add records to our program, we always lost the records sama sa nawala siya sa tua. But we always lost the records every now and then. So we don't do that to happen in our program, especially if we are going to keep the record as you keep your loved ones. So we have to keep them in a way that they are secured. Okay? So dapat secured sila. So now, that's what we are going to do. Okay? So if you guys have questions along the way I am discussing, you can interrupt me. So right now, we are going to start with creating a file here, which is instead of input output stream, we are going to use FStream. So FStream stands for file, no? File stream. So meaning we are going to manage our records. We are going to store our record to a file. Okay. So I have introduced this one to you previously, but I never parang give a in-depth discussion on this. So this time, dili na nato siya gamiton. All right. So let's start with declaring FStream. And then right after that, there is this what we call off-stream. So the off-stream, is used for, so by the way, off-stream is used for This is used for storing. Okay? Wait lang. Storing, what happened? Storing or keeping the record to a file. Okay? When we say IfStream, this used for is used for mali ang keyboard. Is used for fetching or retrieval or data retrieval. Okay, so meaning this will be some data coming from a text file. So whatever is stored in the Word text file, it will be fetched and we use IfStream. Okay? Mali ang keyboard na po. So to do that, I'm going to give you different techniques and different strategies rather, how are we going to keep and manage the record to a text file. So let's get started. So first is we will need to have here say upstream. Okay, and then let's say we are going to record a value or a record of students. Let's say stud record or record. Sige. Okay, and then by the way, instead of inana, pwede ka mag-record that open and then you'll have here, let's say we store this to student.txt. Okay, student.txt. Okay, or otherwise, you can directly put this one directly in the object. Okay, by like this. Okay, so either this one or you do this one. All right, now if we want to keep the record to a text file, let's go to our adding of record. So instead of sa array lang siya ma-record, what we are going to do with this is it will be added to a file. So to do that, you will have to use the record. Okay, so record, this will, this will keep the the data to a file. Okay, so okay, you have here the ID. So we're going to store the ID. Yan. And we want them to be stored as one record of a student will be recorded as one line, and the separator will be \t. So meaning all throughout ang iyahang recording per student will be per line. So the next line will be another record for the student, and the next line will be another record for the student. So that's for ID. Actually, we can continue this by like name, I, okay, but para dili kayo siya like longer lines, we can actually do this one, record name I and then \t. Okay, and then i-paste na to siya. We have here all right. So, pwede niyo siya ipadayon siya like in a horizontal manner. Okay, pero pwede po inanion para medyo hanay siya gamay. But it's all up to you. Okay, so now that we have already record, we have this something right here. This time, we'll need to close our file. So this is not necessary in C++. However, I would like you to do that and practice doing that because in the other in most programming languages and even in databases, it it is going to require you to close your file so that there will be no possible intrusion, no? So dili siya mura na siya og kuan ba, like a virgin bitaw. Muna na siya og naatay sudan, and then if naay leftover na sudan ato ang gina-close para dili mabuta adto ag langaw, or uh, let's keep it this way na ang record is as important as our loved ones, na we don't want anyone to touch it, okay, without our permission. So we'll need to close them before we use them. Kumbaga, before nato siya gipanggamit sa tong program. Basin lahi yung ano to, before nato siya gigamit sa tong program, ato siya siyang i-close. So that's what I am saying. Okay? So now we can run our program and let's see if we are able to store records to data to our file. Okay, so current record for now is we don't have any. So student 101, let's say marked, male, age 16, tuition 5,000. So as you can see, we have here the records of Mart stored to a text file. So the same thing now, like we can view the record, we can search, we can edit, we can delete, but most importantly, this must be recorded to a file. So let's get to see it if it is actually recorded. All you just need to do is right click on this part and then refresh. Okay, and then there you are, student.txt. You click that one, and then you have there my record. Okay, so that's the idea of storing it to a text file. Now, of course, we are going to fetch this one later on. But for now, by the way, backslash n na to ni para move to the next line, ang next record. So, I'm going to run the program, and you will notice that okay, the record is still 0, though we have already a record here. Since the very reason, it's because this is only for like for because again our array and our text file are not binded yet. No, they don't have strong relationship yet. So wala pa sila relasyon. Wala pa na to sila create himuag relationship. Later on, we are going to do that. But for now, let's keep on adding. So balik siya sa 101, but let's have here, let's say, Julia, female, and then 45, and then tuition is 6,000. So as we go back to our student.txt, notice that the records that we have was replaced by Julia. Kasi ganyan naman talaga si Julia, pero joke lang. So instead of dapat ma-retain na to ang value ni Mark there, napulihan siya with the value which is Julia. So what we need to do so that every time you keep on adding value to your record, the previous record will not be lost. Okay? So, meaning to say, the new record that will be added will append on the text file. Append means masumpay lang siya, no? It's just going to keep on adding and adding without replacing the parang the previous values or the previous data. So to do that, dapat maging honest lang ka, bitaw. Dapat butangan lang nimo nag-true dira. True means you want the records to to have to append its new entries, no, meaning tanan value na bago sumpay-sumpay lang nato siya. Okay? So, let's get back to our program and let's run again. So, although wala pa gyapon na, mag-current record 0 gyapon na, don't you worry. Ato na siyang i-work on later on. So, let's say Mart. So, Julia lang to ganina, no? So, we have male, and then 23, and then 6,000. Yeah. So, upon adding Mart, expected na si Mart will be added right after Julia. So, there. So, instead na naman napulihan si Julia, si Mart is nadungag kay Julia. Only, notice lang na 101 sila both. Dapat dili siya 101, dapat 102 si Mart. So again, because wala pa nato gi-bound si array o si text file. Okay. Now, what about we are going to fetch the records from the text file. So, meaning to say, whatever is recorded here, ato siyang i-display sa tuang program. Because just recently, we have added these records. So, mas okay na ma-display nato siya diri sa tong text file. Okay, so to do that, we'll need a an if stream for that. Okay, so if stream record. Okay, and then you have here, let's say, delete lang record, read na lang, read, ayan. Then student dot text kasi balik na, and then tapos na itapad siya dili. Okay, so you have now the if stream. So meaning we fetch now, we expect na mag-fetch na tag record from text file, no? Retrieve na tag record from text file. So now let's go directly to case V, and we are going to display here. So this will be C out, let's say records from text file. And then, condition part here is record from array. So, okay, records from array, records from text file. Tangan na itong \n, yan. And then, so right after that, we'll have here a loop. So, we'll use so in reading the record from a text file, you'll have to use the function getLine, meaning getLine. We are going to get the entire line of this first record, the next record. So to do that, we'll just have to call getLine. Okay, and then after that, you put here the read. Okay, and then you'll put here the data. So we'll have to declare this data, and we are going to treat all of this data as a string. So let's go there sa upper part, and let's add here the string data. Okay. So you have string data, and then now what you will do is we are going to read the data. Okay, so data and then end line. So this is expected to retrieve all the records from the text file per line. So let's run our program this time, but again, don't forget to close your, though again, this one is not necessary, but I would advise you to do that. Okay, so let's view. So as you can see, that by records from array, we don't have any. So meaning, array doesn't have any values yet kasi Based sa itong program, the array will only contain a value if and only if we we choose case A. So in the case A, at the same time, you are able to store both records to array and at the same time to a text file. But based sa ato ang view is nagtawag ta from tawag tawid using array and at the same time records from text file. However, notice that wala sa array because again, wala man ta nag-add og new record to our array. So that is what we are going to do later. We are going to bind the records of the text file to array. So meaning, unsa tong record na naa sa text file, mao po tong records dapat naa ni array. Okay? So, kasi that's necessary. No? Kailangan na to i-store ang record sa text file to our array. So for now, ang ako lang ipakita sa inyo there is we are able to actually retrieve the records, whatever is stored actually here in this text file. Okay, question.
None, sir.
None. Okay, good. Right. So, okay. So let's skip it that way muna. Now, let's have here. Let's create a method of, let's say, a num of records. So this will tell us kung, or count, this will give us kung pila ka records ang sulod sa tong text file. Okay? So we are actually going to copy paste this one right here. Okay? And then, okay, copy paste it here. And then instead of i-display nato siya, we are going to return the value. Okay, so let's also copy paste this one here. So don't you worry because these are all just all local variables. So they are not known with each other. So katong data and read from here and here are not known with each other. So dili na sila magkaila. So since nag-function pa, so this time, instead of i-display na to, we don't do that. We just have to display, to return how much or how many records do we have in a text file. So let's have here in, let's say, count. We have here count plus, plus. Okay? And then return count. Remember, value returning. Okay? So, this will return number of records. So, right here, in our program, since our I is the representative for displaying the number of record or the current record, so we can actually initialize I. So, i-separate natin si I. Okay, so where do we put it? Probably dire na lang. So int I is equal to number of records. Okay, sorry. In new dito. Num of records. Okay? So earlier, kanina, every time mag-add ta, every time mag-run sa atong program, though na natin naka-record rin na file or data, pag run sa program, number of records, wala siya i-display. I mean, na-i-display pero zero. But notice that if we are going to run our program this time, if tama lang atong pagkahimo sa number of records, so current record now is 2. So meaning, this one is correct. Okay? Meaning, na-read to niyang record sa text file, which are Mart and Julia. So there are 2 records there. So mo ng current record 2 and we assign it to I. Okay? And yeah, so we can also do the same for Max. So only that some Max is kailangan nato siya butangan og number of records, and then taga na to siya og formula or like butangan na to siya og like pila ihang pwede na possible capacity, which is you can actually choose like by 10. So this would tell us kung if you have like two records here, so 2 times 10 is actually 20. Therefore, you have more or less 18, which is 20 minus 2 is equal to 18. So you still have 18 more additional capacity. Okay? So parang allowance ni mo na. Allowance sa imong array. So I'm sure dili man na nimong mahurot noon ang 20 all throughout sa pag-run mo sa program. But if all have been used up because you only use 10, you can actually put it like up to 100. So meaning to say, if you have 2 here and 100 times 2, you will have 200, and minus 2, you will have 198. Therefore, if you have here 5, if you have here, or like say 5, obviously you will have 500. So this will increase its value based on the number of records upon running the program. At least we guarantee that our array is not going to be used up. Okay, or our array is not going to be like mapuno, no? So in a layman's term pa, naghatag og allowance sa atong array kung pila ang pwede niya ma-store by multiplying it to the number of records that we have here. But again, it's all up to you if you're going to follow this. So anyway, ang array dito sa uh, C++ is not that strict naman. So okay lang na dili mo maginana, but mas okay kung you practice doing this, or at least i-follow na lang ninyo na. Okay? So kung too much lang 100, then you can have it 50. Okay? Basta again, this is ang formula is number of record times 50. So then the remaining value, the result of that is i-minus nimo sa value, and then mao to iyahang allowance na capacity. Okay? That is to guarantee na naa kay allowable storage for your array. Okay. So now let's have here a what they call this one. Let's have here okay na ni siya. Yan. Number of records. Then tuan na siyang i-bind. So i-bind na to siya right here. Okay, this is binding text file and array. So bind meaning on side value ni actually we are just going to copy the records. So kung sa tong file na kay text file, ibutang lang nato siya kay array. So to do that, we are going to again copy paste this one. Okay, so copy lang nato ni from here to here. But this time, instead of i-count nato siya, we have already read dire. So read na lang na. Okay. So with this one, you have the option to still use getLine, but we are not going to use that one because we are going to read every record of every column every record per column of our text file from our text file. So what I'm trying to say here is that we have to make sure that this 101 record here or kaning data will be stored to an ID, kani si Julia sa name, kani siya sa gender, kani siya sa age, and then kani siya sa tuition. And that's the same thing buhato nato sa dire. So for 101 Mart, male dapat 102 ni. Yan, no? And then also, bas nakalimot ko, kani siya means this one, i-review lang ito nyo akong gi-send sa inyo ha. This is like auto increment, so we are not going to ask the user to input value, this will just increment the value by one. So meaning if you have already here two records, the next time around, since the value of our I is 2, 2 plus 1, this will become 3. So every time add tag record, mag-increment na ni siya sa value. Para dili siya the same ang value sa to ang dili siya balik-balik ang value. Dapat unique ng ID niya. Okay, anyway, so dili ta. So we'll use here read that end of file. So this is end of file loop. So the end of file loop is used for reading the record. So assuming we have here like files, sige, we have here 3, 4, 102, 103, 104, and 105. Okay? So, sige, okay lang na. Balik-balik na sana. So, what is that will tell us is that read.eof, meaning i-read niya ni siya per line, and upon reading per line, we are going to assign each of the value of this record of 101 Julia to our array. So, how are we going to do that? So, by the way, negate din nato na siya. Kasi ang condition na is it not the end of the file? True. Is it not the end of the file? True. So meaning dili ba daw siya end of file? True. Dili siya end of the file? True. Is it not the end of the file? True. So pag abot niya dili, pag read niya, is it not the end of the file? False, because it's already the end of the file. So mo nang mag-stop atong loop until ma-read na niya ang last line, which is empty na. Okay, so mo na idea dira. Okay, so now let's store our record. So read, and then let's have here ID. So now, since we don't have any variable here to represent our index here, we cannot use I, we cannot even use max. So we'll have to declare another value. So let's say for an instance, this is we'll have here CTR na lang. Okay, CTR to 0. So we'll use that CTR 0, sorry, CTR, okay, to store the first value 101 to index 0. Okay, and then we do that for name, gender, and age, and for tuition. So ID, name, gender, let's have here age, and we have here tuition. Okay, so don't forget to smile. Don't forget to increment the value of CTR by 1, because this will assume that this is the first index. So meaning this is index 0. Marked is 102 will be index 1. 103 will be index 2. This is index 3. This is index 4. And every cycle or iteration or every increment sa index, ang buhaton niya is that, so first is 0. So ang record ni Julia must store tanan sa ID, name, gender, age, and tuition. The next line niyang basa is ang record na naman ni Mart will be stored to our array, ID, name, gender, age, and tuition. The same process right after 102 with all the rest of the records per line. Okay, so that's it, no? That's how powerful loop is, or end of file loop. Great. So now, pwede natin siya i-method, pwede natin i-function, but later on, saka na natin na siya pangbuhaton. So, we are now able to bind our arrays and this one, our text file. So, this time, we are not going to store this one here. And then we're not going to, kani siya, pwede na natin siya i-remove because gamito na lang nato si array for storing. Okay? So actually, kung pwede ra gyapon ni mo siya i-keep, however, doble-doble na ang ginabuhat sa imong program. Nag-store na ka sa array, at the same time, gi-store pa nimo siya sa text file. So what we are going to do now is, instead of mag-store pa ka sa text file, store lang sa nato siya si array, then unsa tong update or mga changes na nahitabo sa array, saka nato siya i-store sa text file. So ana atong buhaton. So I'm going to remove this one. Okay. And then also with my this one, I'm also going to remove this. Okay. Because again, na-bind naman nato si array o uh, si text file. Na-bind meaning kung unsa tong record ni student na text file na napod kay array. So mao na ang idea of binding. Mao na tong gibuhat diri kani. Okay? So that's going to happen every time you the program starts running. So let's run the program again, and okay, notice that you have current records or record. We have 5. Okay, and then if you're going to view the records, you have here 101, Julia, blah blah blah. There. So easy, no? So, na tayo na bind na nato kung sa tong nasa array, text file na nasa atong array, we can actually edit it. Okay, so let's say we are going to edit 103. So let's say this is Gerald, male, 23 lang gihapon siya. Let's say 6,000 lang gihapon. So upon viewing it, of course, ma-change si Gerald by 103. Ma-change si 103 by Gerald. Okay? So now the question there is, if we are able to edit the value of 103 to Gerald, the next question there would be, is it also the same case na na-edit pa jud si text file? So that's what we are going to find out. So wala. Okay? So wala na siya na-edit. Why? Because wala tay condition or wala tay statement or code snippets na after editing, okay, after editing the file or the record, kibalik ba nato siya diri sa student.txt. So wala tong buhaton for now. Okay? So that is what we are going to do, and to do that, ano man ito? To do that, we'll have a kapiho na to nawa na noon dire. Sige lang. What we are going to do is in the edit na part right here or dire na part. So we're going to store. So asa to record na to, no? Wait. Record, this one, no? Record. So kopyahon na to ni siya. I mean record. Okay, and then oops. Record that open. Okay, and then student that text, dako dayang S. Ayan. So, and then after that, i-record na to C. So sa nato i-record. So, this time, I will be giving you different two options on pag-record. Okay, una, we'll have to have a loop first. So this portion will take back the array, take back the records from array to text file. So, meaning to say, ang kanina, nag-ano tag from text file, okay, from text file kani, which is this one, from text file, gibutang na to sa array. So, since nag-manipulate ta sa record sa array, from array na to, ibalik na to siya sa text file. Okay, so to do that, you will need to have a loop here. Actually, pwede na tong sa to kani, no? Pwede na to i-function later on. Ipang-function na to na siya. Sige lang. At sige, copy na to ni. And then put it here. Okay. And then, see hold, ato na siyang i-reset to, balik na to siya to null, to empty. So, this will reset, reset the hold to null or empty set. Kailangan na to siya i-reset to empty set because as you can see here, natay hold sa dire. So, masumpay man ng student record successful, change successfully. So, i-display lang sa nato siya. Like, after siya ma-change, record successfully change, then i-reset na to si hold, and then this time, ang ma-display lang, ang ma-store lang nato dito sa text file, kato lang limpyo na data. Dili to ato lang student record change successfully. Okay, so right after that, we are going to have here the hold. And then record that close. Okay, so let's see and run na tong program. So let's view. Let's edit 102. Sige, edit 102. And then you have here for value and type new value for Mark. Let's say Gerald. And then male. So 25. And then 5. Let's say 5,000. So student records was successfully changed or changed successfully. Let's view the record. So na-change na siya to Gerald. Now let's see if na-change budget siya from sa array na change, pero tanaw to kung na-change pa sa text file. So wala siya na-change. What happened? Because is edit, okay. Wait for a while. Okay, tanggalan sa nato ni. So record that asa na to? Record that open tapos by the way, i-true sa nato din ha. Asa ko ipakita sa inyo ha. Okay, change, try na to, balik ta. So let's view. Let's edit. Okay, 102 Gerald male 34 5,000. So i-view na to, na-change siya sa array. So let's see kung na-change pa siya there is a text file. Okay? So na-change siya. However, if you try to look at it, na-change siya but instead of i-change niya, duplicate niya ang entry to Julia, Gerald, kumbaga, tanaw ni mo. So ibalik lang niya actually. But with the changes, nagibutang na to sa array. Na Gerald na instead of this one. So that is because of this true here. Kasi append, mo na yung mag-append, meaning isumpay niya tong nabasa niya kung sa tong previous na record since nag-true ka, kung sa tong nabasa sa from hold, which is from nabind naman nato, gisumpay ra pud niya sa ato ang student.text. So atong buhaton would be i-remove nato ning true. Okay? And then balik ta sa uh, sugod, which is kana sa. Okay? And then i-run nato siya, and then edit ta. Okay, view sa nato, then edit. So gahit man kunig ulo si ano no, Gerald, so kailangan na yun nato lisod kay siya i-edit bitaw. So you have here Gerald, let's say female na daw siya, 45, and then 7,800, and then student records was changed successfully. Let's have Gerald here. So i-change pa nato si Gerald, si 103. So let's say this is mm, uh, money. Okay. Okay. And then male. So 3,000. And kay dato man ni zero na ihang ano. Ayan. Okay. Student records was changed successfully. Okay. So na-change ba siya? Okay. So na-change na si Gerald and Manny. So i-check na to diri sa to ang text file. So as you can see, Gerald and Manny are now changed. So na-change na nato siya. So yeah, that's how actually you do it for editing. So you can replicate this one. I mean, pwede nyo na i-copy dito sa delete para ma-delete po siya. Okay? Meaning, kung unsa tong mahitabo sa pag di-edit, kung mag-delete po ta, unsa tong update sa atong array, mo po to itong ibalik sa text file. Okay, you do that the same. So try na to. So let's have it here. Okay, so let's view. And then let's delete one, edit na to si 104 sa. So edit. So type value to edit. Let's say, digong na po ni siya. Sorry, 104. Si digong, male. Okay, so you have 78. And then, let's say, 3,000. Okay, so check na to kung na-edit pa. Oh, by the way, pag system CLS mo ani or clear screen, dili man gud sa Eclipse, dili ni siya, wala siya inana, no? Dili man gud siya console. I mean, dili man gud tong basta kung VS Code inyong gigamit, i-emulate ninyo ang terminal or console. Kung sa ganang IDE sa C++ na ginagamit ninyo, DevC, no? Nga tug na, oo. DevC sa DevC kay mugana ang system CLS. Okay, katong kuan ba? Dili niyo ibutang na siya, oh. Kay lain siya na ang program na siya katong previous inputs kay makita. Ibutang lang niya dire sa asaman sa dire. System CLS. This is for Windows, I guess. Or Linux, katong nagamit og Linux. This is clear. Clear ang ibutang niyo dira. So anyway, yan na. Then nanatay money, digong money, blah blah blah. I-delete nato siya. Though I would tell you, pag may pag-delete, delete nato siya dapat i-delete. I mean, ayaw mo pag-delete og records. Kasi pag ma-delete na wala nyo na record, let's say, delete nato ning 105, as in totally nawala na siya, you miss something, which is you lost data, and then probably pag katong data man gud pag maingon gud tag nag-store ta og record, historical dapat tong value. So delete dato siya basta-basta i-delete. Like for an instance sa taga-anta mong scenario. Assuming na yan na lang, sige, i-delete pero i-delete sa nato. So let's say 105. So delete successfully view. So nawala na siya. So mao na lang ni dapat ang naa sa ato ang array. So mao lang dapat yang ma-store balik sa text file. Ayan. So, Digong, Julia, Gerald, Manny, and Digong. So, na-delete na to siya properly. So, again, sa delete, as I've said, ayaw mo pag-delete og records. So, pwede lang nyo na siya butang i-active, inactive, or butang niyo siya sa ibutang nyo sa isa ka text file na katong deleted record. Sige, ato ipakita, i-show na ko na sa inyo ang saon. Kasi pag na-chances man god na if we delete the record, ang scenario would be like this. Let's say estudyante ka sa Jan Paul, let's say first year. And then after second year nag-drop ba ka or let's say nag-transfer ka somewhere sa other school, and then i-delete mo ka sa database. So pagbalik mo sa Jan Paul, coming from, ibalik ka sa John Paul to get your records, o sige, ni transfer kag balik sa John Paul, pag tanaw sa imong record, wala na. So, mawala po ito imong records na mga subjects na imong gi-take. So, if that will happen, because that's how you design your program, then wala, no? That's not actually a good idea. So we never delete a record. So we only make the record like inactive ba, or ibutang nato na siya somewhere sa isa ka text file, or pinakaano na is active, inactive lang. Okay? Or something like transferred na ba, or basta di na siya active, ana siya dapat. Anyway, now that we have already nanatay basic rules sa atong program. Okay? So, karon pwede na to ni siya pang transfer into methods or function. So, let's start with creating method sa pwede na to ni siya function. Kasi kung makita nato, balik-balik na siya diri, no? Like, balik-balik siya diri, oh. Balik-balik. Yan. So, balik po siya diri. So, let's try to make a function for that. So, let's say void process. Okay, so records. Ito mo na yung pangalan na to, process records. And then, in here, what we are going to do is, sa to na part. Tapos kani po dayo, balik po dayo ni si asa to. So balik ni siya murag kani balik-balik na part sa edit o sa delete, as in completely the same. Ayan, the same jud siya. So pwede ta pwede kani sa atong sige. For a while up here, yan. And then let's say kani atong kopyahon. So nato siya dire. Okay, ato lang buhaton string, let's say data. Okay. And then maghimo lang po tag string record here. Yan. So, don't you worry. Again, kaning record di na siya kapamilya. So, lahi na siya na they are not known with each other kasi local variables lang na. So, data. Itong ibutan dili. Record. Data. Yan. So, that's process record. So, this time, what we are going to do is with using this one, process record, Asa naman to? So we can actually remove this one out. Okay, i-remove na po nato ni siya. And then, tawagon na lang nato to siya si process data. No? Or process records. So, you do the same for delete. So, tanggalon na po nimo ni siya. And then, you put it there. Okay? So, let's see if it's if still it works kasi again na-change na nato siya na process records na lang instead of inana. And okay, sige, check sa nato kung mugana gihapon siya. Okay, so mo ni ang giingon nako na sa system CLS term environment variable not set kasi ang CLS dili ano sa macOS. Actually clear dapat pero since kani pong term environment not variable not set is that is for wala na dili man gud siya terminal dili ma-access ang terminal diri sa Eclipse. So ako na lang na siyang tanggalon. But in your case, pwede na niyo buhaton. Okay, so let's run again and let's see unsay changes. So view, so digong, ayan. I-edit na to si digong 103, edit na to siya 104. So himo na to siyang Sarah and female and 45 and then let's say 7,000 and then let's view kung Sarah na ba. Yes, so let's add. Okay, so 105 na, so let's say start mail 12 tuition 8,700 and then let's add one more 106. So let's say Lee. Okay, mail 18 and then tuition 8,000. Okay, let's view and then i-delete lang po nato si Lee. So 106. So na-delete siya, let's view. So kung unsa man tong mga changes na gibuhat nato so far sa ato ang array, dapat mabutang na to sa ato ang text file. Okay? So again, mao na ni ang updated na list or record sa tong array. So 101 up to 105. So balik ta sa student text nato nawala. So what happened? Because of na noon. Nasa naman to sa function nato ato. Function record string data okay. Record open student text data and okay, wait for a while. Ay, my goodness, nganong data man akong ibutang diri. Dapat hold. So hold dapat ni class. Kasi kung dili ka mo gunit, mawala jud siya sa imuha. Dapat mo gunit jud ka, gunitan jud nimo siya. Hold, no? So careful lang pud ka sakit sa imong ginagunitan kay basin siya ang makapasakit sa imuha. Charot. Sige. Okay. Balik ta. I-undo lang nato to. So, na ano lang to siya because data akong nabutang and then ang data good ang data man good na declare man good nato siya dire. So empty set jud siya. So, okay. Let's go back to our code, our program. Okay, so let's edit 104 ba to? Digong, so Sarah, email, 45, 7,000, then view na to. So, na si Sarah, I mean, update ta, let's say, Isko, male, 34, tuition, let's say, yan. Tapos, i-delete na po nato si Isko, yan. Tapos, D, 105, deleted successfully, view na to siya. So, muna ni updated record. So, dapat 101 to 104 lang. So, ato ta sa student.text. Yan. So, 101 to 104. So, tama ato ang kuan gihapon atong function, tama ato ang program bisan gihimo nato siyang function. Now, another ano pa napa gyud siya kanina balik na pud ni. Oh, so kung mapansin niyo mo almost the same daghan balik-balik. So actually pwede po maghimo og mga function depende sa inyong trip or depende sa inyong gusto. Let's say uh, process record tapos butang nimo diri string ID, string name, string gender, int age, and then double tuition. Okay, and then butang na to siya apil og katong more size niya or current record kung pila ang current record. So which is ang nagrepresent sa current record na to si I man, di ba? So pwede I na nadra. So with this, ang atong buhaton is butang na to tong loops diri. Yan, for loop and then anita diri asa na to? This one here. And then okay. And then so let's have here string data. And then data na ni. Or pwede hold. Pwede sa inyo kung hold ba inyong gusto. Kung mugunit gihapon mo sa iya. Bitaw. So that's it. No? Instead of if of kanilang ay mong buhaton wala na ang loop. So right here, pwede nimo gamiton sa pwede na nimo siya i-remove here, no? And i-remove din mo siya, then pulihan mo siya og process records na kadtong kani ID, name, gender, age, blah blah blah. And you can also do the same for here, no? I mean, tanggalon nimo na siya and then mao na imong ano. So again, this will work kasi nigana man to ganina so atong giusab ato lamang giano gi-appeal na tog dungag si loops. So kung nigana si loops, nigana to siya kani, how much more kani nga gi-copy lang man nato, gidungagan na nato. Meaning kompleto lang ni siya, no? I mean the entire katong codes atong gibutang dira. So instead of process record lang dai ni. Sana to isa process record. So double di ay. Okay, so we can also run this one para makita nyo that if it really works. Okay, A. So start, mail, 33, tuition, V. So na si start and then edit na to. So si Gerald 102. So let's say si Lenny, then female, okay, 23, and then 9,506.56. So view na to. So dapat mauna ni ang record niya. So Julia, Lenny, Manny, Sarah, Tart. So balik ta dre. So Julia, Lenny, Manny, Sarah, and Tart. That's it. No, so nigana gyapon siya. So if you want na napadyo yung mga balik-balik dre like kani. So atong gingon na nila, pwede ninyo ni siya actually pwede ninyo ni siya i like himo kag view records, no? So let's say void view records na tapos Sa ini. Um, string nato ni siya. String kay para magamit nato siya sa string view records and then kopyahon nato ni si kani. Actually, ayan, kanina lang. Kopyahon nato. Ay, si this one right here. Okay, and then after that, value returning ni siya. So this will be kanilang. Pao na to ni si string data and then this one. Okay? Then ang i-return ani is si return data. Yan, no? Daghan na mong options. Pwede niyo na inani on. So, kaning view records or get data ba? O si get data na lang para murag sana. Pero again, pwede view records pero mas okay ang get data kasi gamito na to ni siya for dire. Like, di ba na naman tayo instead of data, ang cloud na nato di get data. Like, tawagon nato siya. Yeah, ang advantage magula ning get data is pwede nimo siya matawag dire, no? So, let's say hold plus equals get data. Ana la lang, get data. Get data. Ayan. Kaya lang, yeah, tama, okay? And then, so sa view nimo get data na lang, and then, dire, pwede po nimo ni siya i-ano sa get data, okay? Sige, pero dapat ang I nimo is 1. Yeah, is it the same? Pwede, the same ba? Check na to. Oh yeah, the same. So, pwede ni siya, get data na po ni siya. Okay, pero i-try lang na to. Kaya di na to erase. Get data na lang. Ay, sorry. Hold. Sorry. Hold plus equals get data. Ay, sorry. Pwede na hold equals get data na lang. So, actually, pwede see out diretso. Anyway, get data. Pero ang ipasa na to dire is katong dili day pwede kay loop mandahin ni siya. Wait ha. 0, 2, kung 2. Pwede ka mag-imo nimo og other version ato. Ayun na lang. Pwede ka mag other version nimo ato pero dili siya i-loop like unsa lang to unsay value nga i-return ato para di na siya dili na ana. Anyway, sige lang. Snap it. Sorry. Ang aton lang ano is kaning get date dire. So instead of process record, ang imong buhaton pwede na kanina pod. Process record tapos get data. Na pwede naman siya buhaton. Process records tapos report pwede na get data. Again, so you can do that whatever you would like to. So I'm just giving you options. So let's try to run our program. So let's view. So edit na to, delete na to si 105. Edit na to si 103. Sihimo na to siyang Junisya and female. So let's see, tanaw na to kung sa'y mahitabo ani. So if ma-process ni siya successfully, then therefore that's the essence of a method, no? Yan. So there, no? Capture nimo na edit yapon nimo siya, even process records get data imong gigamit. All right? So that is for and I don't know for now kung napabatay ma text file dili or ma method. Probably pwede na to di ma method siguro. So di lang sana ako iano basta ma method na to, daghan tag pwede ma methods diri. Okay? So before any questions so far? Nakuha class? Question. Ayo. Amoy bahaw.
Sir.
Walay question.
Ibabaw.
Amoy bahaw. Okay, so walay question. That means nasabtan. Okay, one more thing is kani siya di ay another thing is let's say paghimo sa tag text file ha. So count that text and then let's say admin tapos uh, recipients user tapos user. So dapat kanilang ang ato ang makagamit sa ato ang sani makagamit sa ato ang program. Either admin or si user. So pwede to maghimo og kuan ani mag-set account like another program pud siya. Pero karon assuming lang na naka-stored, kabalo naman mo mag-store no. Pwede mo mag-store og pass account, user and password. But for now, assuming mao na siya si admin, GPians, user and user, and then pwede ta magbutang diri og let's say information account info text. Okay, na si admin daw ay si Mark Zell daw to, and then male, and then let's say 16 ang edad, tapos let's say teacher. Tapos katong user, assuming gi-store na to di siya kanang natay program na nag-store ani, assuming si user kay si Mart, tapos male, tapos 12, 18, o hindi ako pa noon ang, so 26, 18, tapos student na siya. So, wala nang info niya, kumbaga. So, kung sa tong account na admin mo tong info niya kanina dire. So, assuming gi-add lang daw nato ni, gi-store nato siya sa text file, natay program na mag-store sa text file, and then naghimo siya account, which is morning admin and user. So, mao lang niya ang pwede makagamit sa itong program. So, pwede ta maghimo og program dire or method na boolean or bool is valid. Okay. And then, okay, so is valid, let's say, string, username, and string password. Okay, and then after that, maghimo tag is IfStream diri. So IfStream, let's say read. Okay, and then you have account.text. Okay, and then i-read na to siya. So while read.eof, okay, and then let's have here string name and then gender. Anong name, gender man eh? UN and PWD. UN for username and PWD for password. So, read that, let's say, sorry, baliktad. So, read that uh, store na to siya first si UN and si read also si PWD. Ayan. And then, mag-counter tag in, counter equals to 0. Okay, and don't forget to do counter. So if UN equals to username and PWD equals to password. So mag-return true siya. Okay? So punta na to the bool found bool valid equals to false, and then valid kung naa siya makita na inanan account true. Okay? And then return valid. So i-try na to kung assuming lang ha, there is a first na to ibutang pinakauna. So see out, let's say tawago na ko si is valid. So we have username na ko kay admin, and then sa tong isa ano, GPians. And then GPians here. So, tanaw to kung valid ba ang return ani true or false or 0 or 1. So, 1, tama. So, meaning nakita niya si GPians. So, so try na to admins. So, meaning dapat wala nag-match si username o password. Dapat 0 na ang i-return. Yan, 0. So, try na to kung ma-read ba niyag appeal si user. So, si user, appeal gihapon. User. So, dapat 1 gihapon. Pero user lang siya. Hindi siya admin. Pero dapat 1 ang result na. Meaning true. O yan. Okay. So, nabasa niya. So, karon sa imong program, pwede ka na upon start sa imong program, pwede ka mag-login, or depende sa imuhang buhaton, no? Asa man na nimo buhaton. Okay, diri like wait for a while. Yan. So, and then data butang ta diri og sa nato to string, let's say username and password. See out, log in your credentials. See out, okay, username \t, see in user name, then see out password, see in password. Okay, so after that, we'll have a something like mag while loop ta, wait, para safe di ay atong program, mag ano sa tag, i-save sa nato di atong sin maka-copy paste lahi. So atong buhaton diri is na lang siya pila ka attempts, no? Like attempt, pila lang ka attempt dapat ihang sana. So attempt, naka siya 3 attempts. Or depende kung 0, 1 baka mag-start or 3. Sige, while attempt is less than or greater than 0. So, paste na to siya dire. Is ang attempt na ko na dire. Okay, so buhaton dire would be ano may username? Uh, if attempt so mag-condition siya ta if is valid, so is valid daw ang username and password. So log in, sorry, see out, log in successful. Okay, and then else attempt minus minus ta. Login failed. At remaining attempts. Ay sa nato ni kung this will work. So log in your credentials, username, admin, password is GPyans. So login successful. Okay, ano man balik man siya. Ay okay, tama. Kasi dapat mag-end ko. And pwede ko mag-break na di ay dire pag tama na siya. Break na pag login successful. Tapos na siya okay, usap. So admin and then password is JPyans. So login successful. Now after that, kung okay na siya, then proceed na ka sa pag ano sa imuhang pagpagamit sa application. Pero try na to na user kapon. User. So login successful. Try na to admin user. Okay, admin user. So login failed, remaining attempts dapat minus minus na nauna na siya anyway. Baka naulahi. So wait lang. Admin GPyans. Okay, ay login successful, tama siya. Dapat mauna ni siya dire. Okay. So okay, muna i-polish ani. And then \n na lang din dire. Usap. O dapat magbutang jud tag return 0 dire class. Para Okay, so after that, try na to. So, butang, butang. So, ayan. So, wala na siya. So, pwede ka butang na if 0 attempts na, program terminating, or depende sa imong gusto po aton. And then, yeah, so that's something na pwede nimo buhaton i-apply sa imong program. So, with here, try na to. I-paste na to siya. Paste na to siya. Try na to ni kay murag mo run siya bisan no attempts na. Wait for a while ha. Yan. So naa siya diri na part. So mao na tong buhaton karon which is pwede ka magbutang diri og let's say uh, bool valid equals to false. Tapos this will be valid is equal to true. Or pwede nimo ibutang ang codes diri. Pero ayaw na lang kay dili siya okay. Ibutang lang sa gawas para mas lahi siya nga block nila. Pwede nimo ni siya ikuan i-method, no? So anyway, para limpyo, pwede nimo siya i-method diri tanan ang input, diri pod ang output. Kaya ato na buhaton ron. So if valid, then else see out no remaining attempts. So, and then, if valid siya, then paste. Okay. So, diri sa program ninyo, okay, pwede nyo na i-function like katong appeal na diri sa is valid, diri na lang nyo ibutang ang mag-input, output, depende sa inyo ang gusto. Sa ba? But again, in example, inana na lang. So, let's try to run our program. Okay, G, H. So, no remaining attempts. Wala na, okay? So, assuming daw nag-run ta with, let's say, isa, tapos admin, tapos GPians. Ayan. So, makagamit na ako sa program. Ayan, okay? So, that's it. One more I'll need to teach. This one, kanang sa inyong let's say, kani sa inyong program class, kanang tuition, dili na siya i-input. Dapat i-ano na siya, dapat inyo na siyang i-ask sa user kung nagbayad ba siya or wala. Dapat dili siya input kay nakay dapat historical record kung nagbayad ba siya or wala. Like, kung anong balance ani niya kay kani naman lang because nagbayad siya. Nganong gani naman lang iyahang balance sa sana because nagbayad siya atong inani na adlaw. So inana dapat. So payment. So right here, what we are going to do is magdungag lang tag isa ka kels, isa ka case, kung saan naman lahi naman istoryan, isa ka case, which is, ala, sulod ay ko dapat. Okay. So welcome to cashier. Welcome to cashier. Okay? So, alright. Anong buhaton diri would be, we're going to ask the user to, uh, simple lang, kanilang yapon, no? Mag-search ta, type a value to search. Actually, katong search na itong kwaon na itong search. This one. Okay. And then, i-paste na to siya dire. So, source identification. Hala. And then, yun. So, we have here, dapat P day ni. Now, if nakita niya, if wala, then wala. Then, display niya hold. Okay. So, pwede nimo dili i-display ang uban, like ang ano lang ba, yang balance, instead na tuition, balance, may butang nila. Then, you will ask for the user to uh, enter amount to pay. Yan. And then, see in tapos amount, not sure what the amount. So, this one here, i-record na po ni siya sa text file. Ang iyang gibuhat na transaction. So, butang lang ta double amount sa dire. Dire na lang. Okay, double amount. Okay? So, assuming lang, mao na to, amount. And then, so, using the record ba to? Sa to atong text file? Record that asa to? Record, ayan, record yun. Sige, record that open. So, ibutan nato ni siya sa cashier.text. Okay? And then, i-store nato si record like cashier, sige, student ID sa student ID, pwede, student ID lang, ay nalang tanan kay Muran. Student ID is, let's say, ID search. Okay, and then, pwede mo pa na linya, ikaw bahala na. Okay. And then, record po mo siya si yang name. Kung gusto ka, apil niya yung name. Apil mo yung name di ay. And then, let's say date. Butangan mo date. So, na may mga system date. Pang ano lang mo ng date dira. Daghan sa internet. So, assuming lang date daw kay today lang daw. Today. So, 11/22, let's say 2021. And then, i-record po na to ang amount. Okay? And then, /t. So, pwede ninyo store po ni siya sa, pwede mo mag-record o, okay, anyway, wait lang ha, amount, tapos yung amount, and then, dapat, pag-record ana, ayahang balance is, let's say, tuition equals search minus equals amount. So, maminusan yung amount, mao na to yung balance. Okay? So, or, yeah, so which is, ayan, and then i-record, kung gusto nimo i-record iyang balance, pwede ka magbutang diri og double balance equals tuition minus amount. Yan. And then, yeah, so pwede na lang to siya. Minus amount. Ang tuition minus amount. Tapos, minusan dapat imong tuition tuition search minus amount. Or balance naman din, no? So, pwede na ni ang, tama ba? Tuition minus search is equal to balance. Instead, no? Balance. Wait. Alright. And then, record ni mo dre, balance. And then, record pud ka, nothing follows. Okay, tapos pwede nimo butangan og kinsay cashier or kinsay admin, kinsa man toy admin. Pwede ato to i-capture, no? Cashier. So, kuhaon lang to nimong username. Kina naman to dire. Yan. Okay, so let's try this one. And then pwede po nimo ni siya i-record sa So, if daghan na kay ning sa cashier.txt manggod, pwede mo mag-record per student, pero I don't know how do you structure it or how are you going to do it, but this is just an example, and then ang logic ana is i-leave na nako sa inyo unsaon niyo na pag unsa na. So balance, copy paste, run na tong program, and let's see. So lahat plus 12 naman day. Admin, GPians. So this time, adto ko I views na ako. So I have here 9,604. Kanina lang sige 9,600 for Lenny. So magbayad ta kay Lenny. P, payment, welcome to cashier, student ID. So 102. So 102 Lenny, female 23, amount to pay, let's say, magbayad ko og 5,000. So wala na to nabutang, pero pwede na to ibutang see out, your balance is blah blah blah. Pero let's check kung naba siya sa text file. So under sa ay refresh na to kung na-store ba siya. Refresh. And then ana siya cashier. So there, na-record na siya, si admin, si student ID, 102, student Lenny, date, and then nag-ama, bayad siya, 5,000. Ihang balance karon 4,600. Tanong ng student, kung si Lenny ba, na-change ba iyang amount? Wala na-change ang amount ni Lenny because wala data nagtawag o kani. Dapat tawagon nato ni siyang process records. Kani. Okay, wait lang, nakalimot ko ana. So, ayan. So dapat pila na to iyang balance. Wait lang jud na, hold on for a minute na lang. Dapat ana na. Okay? Then balik ta diri sige, see out, butang na tong see out. Pang display lang ni balance is balance. Yan. Okay? And then i-true ninyo dai siya, no, para mag asa to. Kani i-true ninyo ni siya para mag append lang siya og append ang file. Okay, balik ta. So let's say we have here. So instead of admin, user ta. Try na to user. So let's say Vita, and then bayaran na to ni si Sarah. So P. So payment, let's say 104. So amount to pay, let's say 5,000 lang yapon. Okay, so balance niya is 2,000 na lang. And then pag adto na to sa cashier, so nanatay payment na cashier si user 104, si Sarah, then date kung sa gibayaran, amount 5,000, then balance 2,000. Pag abot rin sa student na text, ang balance ni Sarah karon 2,000. So nakay record, nakay historical record na niyon. Oh, nagbayad man anong nahimo man ning 2,000 si si Sarah nganong nang sa man kano sa man siya nagbayad na yang balance last time kuan man in ani. So naay historical record no dili sana na kay mag evidence na naghimo jud ka og na transaction na hitabo. Okay? So that's the same thing na buhaton ninyo sa inyong yan, balance niya 2,000. So let's say 2,000. So ningong taon 2,000 na. Okay, say tanaw na to ang balance ni view na to. So zero na. Zero na ang balance ni Sarah. So meaning abot rin 0 na. Yan. So nanakay transaction. Okay, so that is what you are going to do sa inyong program. Now, why I extend this that much? Because I am going to spare you with your with the discussions. So, questions so far? May questions? Wala.
Wala, sir.
Wala. So let me be very quick with this one. I am now going to spare you with the synchronous class. Asynchronous class na lang to. Kung ano na mo yung mga questions, please ayaw ko i-PM dito sa group chat, no? Or asa may mas kwapo. Si PM or group chat anyway, kung ano mo yung mga questions sa inyong projects. And then you will focus now, you are going to focus now with your project. So kung sa itong project na inyong gisabit sa Quaside Modo, mao to inyong i-work on. That's the same thing you do sa gibuhat ng Corgi demo na ko karon. So dapat naa kay CRUD, so create, retrieve, update, ayaw nang delete, no need na, pwede na walay delete. And then pwede pa magpasa og inception. And then basic requirement basic requirement dapat naka-text file. Na I create, retrieve, update na naka-text file. And then at the same time na ay at least bahalag isa ka transaction. Isa lang, no need of dagang transactions. Let's say, kung gusto ka kumpletuhin mo yung program, go ahead. So example, inventory. So sa inventory kay nakay product and then nay palit, so maminusan dapat imong inventory pila na lang nabilin. So same atong gibuhat ako karon, wala gyapon siya ginato na style. Tapos iyang resibo, butang himo-himo kag resibo niya, pila iyang nabayaran, pila imong gisukli, may ana. So inana ang inyong baton sa program. And then that's what you will work on for the remaining weeks. And then our project presentation will start on December. Starting by December, mag-ano na presentation. So I'll be the one to decide rather kung kinsa ang una mag-present. So ako na mag-ahala og sa schedule, i-send na ako sa inyo ang schedule sa presentation. Okay, do you have questions so far? Na-lock na. Sige, i-open na ako balik. Sige, do you have questions so far? Hello?
Yes, sir. I have questions, sir.
Okay, wala. Yes po.
Sir, regarding sa presentation, sir, present naman.
Program.
Balik atong among gi-program, sir, kag amo atong i-present, sir.
Kato inyong, di ba, nag-present mo project, di ba, na mo ninyong himo na project, himo ang program. Then, mao din to inyong i-present sa kuha.
Sige, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, atong, mo na yung final exam, final requirement and final exam. So, inyong written exam ng gyapon. Pero inyong, let's say na lang kung tanaw to, mag-decide ko. So, final exam ninyo is your final project, which is kato nyo hanggi, sa project inception. Okay? So, before I will dismiss the class, I would like to allow me to take the opportunity to say thank you for everyone. Thank you for the memories that we have shared. Thank you a lot for giving me time, for giving time na for spending time with me, no? Every time natin discussions. So I just hope you learned a lot from our topics, from me, and hopefully to see you next in the other courses or other programming subjects. So don't you anyway mag-make pa man tawi sa inyong presentation, but ang option na lang is kung kinsa tong mag-present that day mao na lang to ang present dapat. So no need na naatanan. Okay, so basta presentation nato will start on December and I'm going to decide kinsay una mag-present. Okay, i-random lang nako. All right? So any questions so far?
Wala na, sir.
Na.
Okay, so one more ano be? Kanang attendance na nain yung mga naong. Dali, faster kay gutom na. Okay, sige. Antod karon wag gyapon kam patay oy. Sige, 1 2 3 smiles ako nadaot. Wait lang ha kay ato saning tanggalon ilang mga chat dire. Sige, 1 2 3 smile. Please pag-capture pod mo kay di maigo tanan. So 1 2 3 smile, again smile. Okay, so I guess we call it a day. Thank you guys for joining in and have a great day. See you guys around. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Sige.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Ang grade, sir.
I-encode pa na ko ang grade. I-encode.
Sige,
Sir,
sir.
wala na ka sa midterm.
Wala na sa?
Midterm.
Sir, wala sa midterm.
Pag-inis, second sem.